Hi guys, and welcome to day 15 of our 30 days wild. What did you guys do during the weekend? I went on a pony ride, I did a hike, and I listened to the birds, and I relaxed. And then on Saturday night I also listened to that fabulous thunderstorm, which was really nice to listen to. If you're anything like me, I am obsessed with listening to thunder. It's really peaceful and I really enjoy it. So this week we're going to be looking at quite a few different species, and we are starting off with bats. So Monday is bat day. So here we are for bats. Did you know there is 18 different species of bats within the UK, and in Cheshire we see at least 11 of them 18 species, so they are really important over here in Cheshire. Also, they are really important animals. They are what we call an indicator species, so if something goes wrong with our bat populations, there is generally something wrong with the entire environment. So basically these guys eat thousands of insects a night. Okay, one bat can eat at least 3,000 insects. So if they're not getting the food source, and that could be an issue, then we know that there's something wrong in the environment because insects aren't coming over like they normally would. Our bats would only occupy a space that is safe for them and has plenty of food. They are also officially the only flying mammal, which makes them really cool. They're not covered in feathers like ducks and stuff like that, or barn owls. So they have little hairs all over them, and they are flying mammals. They fly all the time. So you get flying squirrels, but they climb. Bats fly all the time. You don't see them walking around on the ground. You either see them flying or they are roosting in nests. So they are a really weird and really incredible animal. They have a wide range of habitats. You can find them in woodlanded areas, you can find them in farm fields. Anywhere there is insects, you are going to find bats. They are really interesting. So tonight, why don't you, if it's not raining, go outside just at dusk, so when the sun's setting, and just sit in your garden and see if you can hear any bats or see any bats flying above your head. Now, you are not going to hear them calling because they call in a frequency so high that I can't hear it and neither can you. But you might hear their wings beating and stuff like that. They're rather noisy flappers. If you do see one, it is probably the pipistrelle bat that you can probably see. Them guys love to come around people's gardens and houses. They would be flying no higher than 10 meters in the sky, so about the size of your house. So they're really interesting animals. They're the most common bat that you would find in the UK. Now, I said you wouldn't be able to hear our bats, and that's because they use echolocation to get around. So the best way I can explain echolocation is if you guys go to a well or you go into a cave and you shout hello, the sound bounces back to you and it sounds like someone's replying to you. It echoes, and that's essentially what bats do to see where they're going. And it's not because they have bad eyesight. Their eyesight is just as good as mine and yours. It's just because it's easier for them to navigate that way in the dark with them being nocturnal. So what they do is they give off this high-pitched frequency, and then the sound bounces back to them, and as soon as, depending on how long the sound takes to bounce back, it tells them how close it is to them, and they also use this to find their food. So bats are really intelligent. They're a unique animal, and to be quite honest, they're one of my favourite. I love sitting in my garden and watching the pipistrelle bats flying around. If you do want to see bats in your garden, there's 1,000 things you can do to encourage them. You can get nighttime blooming flowers, so nighttime insects are more attracted to them, therefore our bats are interested in coming and feeding in your garden. You can build a pond. Believe it or not, ponds attract lots of different flies and stuff. So if you have a pond or a lake near you, you are more likely to see bats. If you want to really see bats, go fishing. Okay, I loved going fishing when I was a kid, and there was thousands of bats around. So if you really want to see one, go fishing. You can actually request bat detecting equipment from the Bat Conservation Trust, which is really interesting. So each bat is unique, okay? They have a different frequency in which they pitch, and we've got an example of this in a minute from Kathy. So certain frequencies, certain pitches can be detected by the frequency, and that tells you exactly what species of bat you are. So our first video from Kathy, she is out using her echolocation, and this shows a pipistrelle bat. And then we have a second video. It's a different frequency of a bat that she's detecting here in Haslington. If you guys wanted to as well, there is a local bat group in Cheshire that takes you out as a volunteer so that you can go out and you can survey bats under the correct licensing. Now, all the bats within the UK, all 18 species of them, are protected. You cannot take them from the wild. You cannot disrupt roosts or nests. It is illegal to sell them, whether it's dead or alive. They are very, very protected, not only by UK laws, but also European laws. There are loads of threats that these guys are facing, things that we can't control, unfortunately, like cat attacks. Cats love to hunt. We're not going to stop them attacking bats, especially pipistrelle ones. Cats will sit and jump off a fence to catch a bat. There's also too much light in the streets now, so all them street lights that light up at night time, it's too much for our bats. They are so used to being pitch black for them to hunt for their food, that the lights from the country and everything is causing severe decline. It's confusing them. They get hit by car traffic a lot as well. There are a lot of predators to bats, so foxes, birds of prey, owls, people's cats and dogs, unfortunately, and also people. People aren't a big fan of bats, and this is because bats relate to vampires, and some people are really superstitious with bats and stuff, so unfortunately that's a big thing as well. But the main one, unfortunately, is habitat loss. Now, I know what you're thinking, bats nest in caves, crevices in houses and stuff like that, but people are knocking down old buildings and building new ones and not making holes for them bats to get in, so they can't roost in their usual site, so they have to go out and find a new roost. And also, we're pulling down hedgerows and stuff like that. Bats are insanely smart. They will fly along hedgerows so that they're less likely to get attacked by a predator. So it's a communal flight path. It means that lots of bats use them to fly along so that they are guided by something and protected by something as well. But with us pulling them down, unfortunately, it means that our bats are getting highly predated on. So yeah, unfortunately, bats do need our help. You can even do your own bat survey if you wanted to. The little devices you can buy off the internet for about 40 quid, and you connect it to your iPhone and it tells you the frequency of the bat that you hear, which is what Kathy showed us with. They're really cool. I've used them. It's really fun. And yeah, it's just fun, guys. Honestly, watching bats, I could watch them all day if they were out all day. So go out tonight, have a look at the bats, and let us know if you see any. If you can as well, try and snap a photo of them or a little video. They are insanely quick. I've never managed to get a picture of them, so I'd be impressed if you guys do. So thank you very much for listening on day 15 of 30 Days Wild, and join me tomorrow, and we're going to look at some of our slithering friends that we would find in the UK. Thanks for listening. Bye!